The ball game to Nyjer Morgan is taken for a strike. Pirates come in at 19-24, hitting at .256 as a club with a 4.10 team ERA. That ball hit into left center field. Scotty Pods is there, and the speedy Morgan is retired. So one out, and that'll bring up Delwin Young. Switch hitter. He's the right fielder. He was 0 for 3 yesterday.
Been a better hitter this year from the left side.
Burley delivers the strike. And once again, a very happy Memorial Day weekend. Make it reflective and a safe one. As that ball slashed into the seats. So the count 1-2.
As these Pirates, if they don't know already, and they would because Mark Burley is 3-0 against him, but they've got to get ready in a hurry because he's coming right at you.
He gone. Threw a dart in there.
Delwin Young thought that one was off the corner. A.J. wants it away. Usually when you hit the catcher's glove, and A.J. didn't move the glove at all, he just framed it perfectly. And a good solid strike called by Bruce Dreckman.
Freddie Sanchez takes it high and wide. Outfield shading him to the right. And there's a strike. Sanchez 1 for 8 in the series.
The only problem with this is if you cut the fastball inside, that's the ball that he's going to pull.
Yeah, beautiful U.S. Cellular Field. 330 down the left field line, 335 down the right field line, 375 in the gap, send 400 straightaway center as that pitch is fouled away. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out here in the top of the first if you're just joining us. And there is a base hit by the former National League batting champion.
Well, that shows you just how good a hitter Freddie Sanchez is, because this is the second time in the series he's done that. This ball wasn't close to a strike. This is high and outside, but he kept his hands back. It was as if he was looking for an off-speed pitch, and when you do that, you just reach out and poke it, and he winds up with a base hit.
Well, you're not going to lead the league in hitting if you're a hitter who can't keep your hands back.
That's true.
There's a strike to the cleanup hitter, Greg Monroe, 32-year-old veteran, 14 for 41 lifetime with a couple of homers against Burley. There's a shank. That's going to be a base hit. Little duck snort by Monroe. So with 2 out, they have runners at the corners.
Monroe's pretty strong, and he gets a cutter this time and brings his hands in and still able to get the head of the bat out of it. Doesn't get much into the swing, but he couldn't have thrown it out there any better. So Eric Hinske, who's getting a rare start against the left-hander, will have his opportunity.
He's 3 for 11 lifetime off Burley. Hinske hitting at .238 on the season with no homers and 5 ribbies. Big curveball, misses. What a beautiful day here in the beautiful city. Short lead by Monroe. He's not going anywhere. As there's a strike to even the count at 1.
You remember a homestand where you had 6 days like this in a row?
Not for a long time.
This is a terrific weather homestand, and it's been a very good homestand on the field also.
Not for a long time, Stevie. That's a fair ball. Breaking pitch. He just ripped it down there. So with 2 out.
And let's hope that that is interference. The reason being that they're going to send Monroe back to third. So with the ball under the padding, we're going to get a break, and Monroe's going to go back to third. Hinske's going to wind up at second, and hopefully Mark can get out of this one, giving up just the 1 run. It's a breaking ball that stays over the inner portion of the plate, and he hits it right by Paulie. And there's the break. It stays under the padding, and wisely, Brian Anderson doesn't go to dig it out. If he went to dig it out, that ball would probably be in play.
First pitch strike to Andy LaRoche, who was 2 for 3 last evening. Andy hitting at .288 on the season with a couple of homers, and he's knocked in 20. He's faced Burley 3 times, and he has a hit. And very quickly, the count 0-2. The Pirates get on the board for the first time in the series.
And Andy was swinging at a lot of face-high fastballs yesterday. Might not be a bad idea this time.
Outfield about equidistant, spread out just slightly to the left. Fields backing off the line at third, as good pitch right there, didn't get it.
Well, I think Mark Burley wanted this one. I know AJ thought that this was strike 3. Bruce Reckman thought it drifted a little low. You see it there. It's at the top of the knees.
So a full count with Brandon Moss on deck. He gone. Pull a string on him, struck him out, but they pick up a run. And after a half inning of play, it's the Buccos 1 and the good guys coming to bat.
And Fields playing third base and hitting 9th. The Lowe's defensive setup. Moss, Morgan, and Young in the infield. LaRoche, Wilson, Sanchez, Hinsky, and Diaz.
As that pitch fouled back upper tank. And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours as the count 0-1 to Posednik. Sox come in at 19 and 23. Hitting at .244 as a club with a 4.54 ERA.
Jeff Karstens on the hill. He's had a tough time this year. He's a sinker baller. There you look at the U.S. Cellular starting pitcher on for the 8th start.
There's the curveball and the count 1-2. Fides has faced Karstens twice and he has 2 hits.
That was a defensive swing as Karstens got that fastball inside. And Scotty thought about getting out of the way of it and then thought, well, wait a second, that's close enough.
Once again, the 1-2.
That was close enough also.
Karstens, 26 years old, 6'3", 185 pounds, out of Tampa. Beats that one down. Derek Hensky, and that's out number 1. This is the 23rd time these two teams have met in interleague play. Sox in the first 22 have won 14 of them.
And the Pirates have the worst record in baseball in interleague play. The Sox have the 4th best record. All that means absolutely nothing today. It's a question of getting to Jeff Karstens.
Here's Alexei. 3 for 7 in the series with a couple of homers and 3 RBIs. Had a big 2-run homer yesterday. Two down. And right now, let's check out our Heineken picks to click. DiMangio, our director and crew. Well, he went with AJ. Lisa, Steve, and Layla. They're going to go with Chris Getz and all the men and women in our armed forces here and around the world. And myself, we're going to go with Ryan Anderson. This is not going to take long. This is going to be a very quick 1-2-3 inning for Karstens, and after 1, it is 1-0 Pirates.
Ticket for a group of 20 or more fans. Whether it's a warning track, fan deck, or individual game diamond suites, they're all available. Book a group outing or party area today. Call 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com.
First pitch to Brandon Moss. One on, hit high into left center field. 1 pitch, 1 out.
And the fans have decided that Jake doesn't want to come here. It doesn't matter much because Mark Buehrle has a better record. So we'll keep him.
Here's Robinson Diaz.
Interesting way to pronounce his name. And he was originally a defensive catcher. In fact, they're pretty surprised that they've got over a 300 batting average out of him to this point, because he is a good defender.
That's top foul. Well, he's a .305 career minor league hitter. He's only 25 years old.
Not too bad.
305, pretty good. Catcher for anybody. Alexei, high throw, but they put it on him.
Alexei had some time because he knew that Diaz was going up the line, but he got careless on the throw, and that's something that he's got to break himself of. This is a pretty easy play once you make this hop And again, he takes some time, but he gets under the throw. Nice play by Paul as he puts the tag on, and the call by Paul Emmel. And in the all's well that ends well category, they get him at first.
Zach Wilson trying to reach via the bunt. Now we're getting back to Diaz. In 03, he had 374 to lead the Appalachian League.
That's not bad.
And there's a base hit. So that's poked out in the right field. And they'll go back to the top of the order. Nyjer Morgan, who went out to Posednik in center.
And I think A.J. Pierzynski's going out to talk with Mark Buehrle, and I think one of the things he probably reminded him of is the fact that Nyjer Morgan hasn't laid down a bunt this series, but he is a good bunter.
Josh Fields comes in on the grass. Wilson just 1 for 2 in stolen bases.
If he gets picked off, especially knowing the great move of Mark Buehrle, as every advanced scout knows in baseball, I don't think John Russell's going to be real happy with it.
Nyjer takes first pitch strike.
Pittsburgh comes in 7 games back. Milwaukee and St. Louis leading the Central. And the Sox 5.5 games back as Detroit, 7-3 in their last 10, leads the AL Central.
That's softly into center field. They get it. Perfect throw on the run by Posednik. And they nail Wilson at third, and that'll retire the side. After an inning and a half, it is 1-0 Pittsburgh. Mercer. As we take a look at Scotty Potts as he comes in and actually just flips this ball, gets a whole lot on it, and gets it there. Well, we probably got a break on this one. Let's take a look at Wilson's foot. He tags him behind the right knee, but we certainly will take it. Good play by Scotty Potts. This goes to show you, you don't have to take all that time winding up.
Just get rid of it quickly.
Just make it accurate. As Konerko will lead it off. He'll be followed by Pierzynski and Quinton. 1-0 Pirates here in the bottom of the second inning. First pitch strike. Bottom of the first in St. Louis, 1-0 Kansas City. Mets did not score in the top of the first at Fenway. bit of a gap out there in right center. That pitch fouled away. So Paulie down in the count, 1-2. Sox will conclude this series, this homestand, and head off. Going out west to Anaheim to take on the Angels for a 3-game set. Starting tomorrow, Johnny Danks against Irvin Santana. He got a good breaking ball to hit up there, got it up, and Paulie just underneath it. 1 out. And the rest of those probables. On Tuesday, Bartolo Colon against the southpaw Joe Saunders, 6-2. And on Wednesday, Gavin Floyd, who was just brilliant the other day, against Jared Weaver.
Weaver's ERA is spectacular, and at 6'7", he's got a great straight changeup that's pretty hard to find.
Got a good one. AJ takes strike 1. Then we have an off day on Thursday and take on the Royals in Kansas City Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Carson started his career with the New York Yankee organization, originally drafted by Montreal in the 45th round in the year 2000. Didn't sign.
Broken bat, another $95 bill just bit the dust.
Yankees then drafted Karsten in 2003, and he improved his position from the 45th round to the 19th round. Now he finds himself in the middle of the rotation for these Pirates.
A ball and 2 strikes to Pierzynski. They want it up, and that is flipped into center field. Morgan makes the catch, 2 down. So 2 out to Carlos Quentin.
And
Carlos 0 for 6 in the series.
You've taken a look at Carlos since he's come back, and he came back from the foot injury, obviously missed 5 games. What do you think it will take for him? You think it's just a question of getting the at-bats before he gets that feeling back again?
Yeah. Just seeing the ball, letting his swing come back to him. Breaking ball strike.
Well, if Karsten keeps hanging that breaking ball, there's going to be a couple that go out of the park to left field.
Yeah, it's just going to be a matter of time. You know, guys who have a short, quick swing, powerful swing like Carlos, if there's another one. Their slump time is usually, their shelf life on the slump time is shorter than most guys. There's a solid base hit in the gap. So the 2-out double.
So his slump time lasted right up until that last swing, because he hit that one real hard. And Karsten is keeping the ball up. He hung 2 curveballs. Then he got one right in the zone for Carlos, belt high on the inner portion, and he drove this one in the gap.
Picks up his 5th double. And now Diaz going to let everybody know there's 2 out. As Brian Anderson stands in. Brian hitting at .273. That breaking ball outside. Bottom of the 4th in Cincinnati. Indians and the Reds are tied at 1.
Indians beat the Reds last night 7-6, coming from behind in that one.
And the count 2-0. And Diaz wants to have a little chit chat and some other scores in case you missed them this morning. Mets beat the Red Sox 3-2. Colorado over the Tigers 4-3 at Comerica. Minnesota beat Milwaukee 6-2. That was in Minneapolis. Yankees came back from a 4-1 deficit to beat the Phillies 5-4. Arizona over Oakland 8-7 in 11 innings. Giants beat the Mariners 5-1. Checks it up and takes ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes to Brian Anderson. And there's one. Atlanta beat Toronto 4-3. Boy, since we left the Blue Jays, they're falling on some hard times.
Toronto is finding out that life isn't all that easy. Especially the schedule makers kind of dictate how your start comes out sometimes.
That was just a get me over right there. And the count goes full.
Yeah, that was. I've got first base open. So if you're looking fastball, I'm going to throw you a curveball. If I miss, you go to first.
That's just a good pitch to hit right there.
Well, he's been hanging a lot of them too.
Well, again, it's just a matter of time. And that fastball flips it over the Pirate dugout. Souvenir. Tampa Bay beat Florida 10-3.
Don't look now, but Tampa Bay is starting to play the type of baseball that you would associate with a team that won 97 last year. They're starting to play pretty well.
The Angels beat the Dodgers. Check that. Dodgers beat the Angels 5-4 in 10 innings. That ball hit deep. Way back. He looks up. Buchanan put it on the board. Yes, another get me over breaking ball. I love it.
You can only hang so many of them before they start going out of the yard. We told you that last inning, and Brian Anderson with his first of the year. He's driven in 6. And better than that, it's a 2-1 Sox lead. The Ford home run replay. It's yet another hanging curveball, and when you throw from the side and don't get on top of it, those things come in like beach balls.
Sox on top 2-1, and here's Chris Getz. Takes up high, so all the servicemen here and women and around the country, they're picked to click Brian Anderson with a 2-run homer. There's a chopper, and it's going foul.
I want to send along greetings to my dad, who served in the Army during World War II, and thank him for his service, as well as everyone who's ever helped defend our country and given us the ability to enjoy this lifestyle that we've enjoyed for so many years.
Ditto. Ditto. Softly hit, but the 2-run homer by Brian Anderson on a 3-2 get me over breaking ball, and the Sox lead at 2-1. 2-1 good guys here in the top of the third inning. Delwin Young called out on strikes his first trip. And the count 2-0.
On base percentage up close to 400 for Delwin. Always been a pretty good hitter. Did not get his opportunity with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Although a good hit. Just couldn't find a place for him to play with all those young outfielders.
Softly hit. Nice play by Chris.
For each double play the White Sox turn this season, Dominics will make a donation to White Sox charities.
And send a big White Sox hello and happy birthday to Jimmy Lucy, longtime Sox fan who is one of our Comcast cameramen. Happy birthday, Jim Lucy. As there is ball one. Freddie Sanchez.
God, he's 94. He looks great.
He needs some rest.
I think he looks terrific for that age and still working. Boy, we're mighty proud of him.
One and one to count. He's a 31-year-old veteran infield. And that's low. Big hack, and the count evens at 2.
Pittsburgh has a tremendous advantage, if you would call it that, in that they don't have to change hotels. They don't do anything. They got 3 on the north side.
That's into left field. Carlos can't get there. Well, they could not have picked a better city to spend a weekend.
And also, we understand that the rains are coming in, so that could be a very long series for them.
One out single by Sanchez. And here's Monroe. Had a little duck snort into right field. That's not a duck snort. That's a bullet. So that's the 6th hit already for these Pirates.
Also the second time that Sanchez and Monroe have gone back to back with base hits. Now we need a ground ball off the bat of Hinske. That was a fastball away, and before Mark could react, that ball was by him into center field. And Monroe, who's a pretty strong guy, hit that ball awfully hard.
So here's Hinske. He got a rolling curveball and hammered it for a double.
Well, the one advantage here is that Konerko is playing behind Monroe. Last time he was holding Sanchez or Monroe close on the bag, and that ball went behind it.
Two and 0 the count. Another close pitch, didn't get it.
I think Mark would like to have some of these low pitches that he thinks are strikes.
Not where he catches it, is where it goes across the plate.
You see it right there across the front knee as a strike, and that is a strike. Now you probably get Hinske trying to pull the ball, and that's a ball that you could turn into 2 because Eric doesn't run particularly well.
Outfield slightly to the left. And he makes the catch and doubles him up. Beautiful play by Chris Getz. A couple of them this inning. And that'll retire the side. We'll go to the bottom of the third, leading 2-1. Attaboy, Chris.
did in that inning, not only on that play, but the first play of the inning. So no defensive picks to click, you're telling me.
Are you a good friend of Charlie Wilson's?
Yes.
You his protege?
Exactly right.
Josh Fields will lead it off here at the bottom of the third. 2-2-0 for us, 1-7-0 for them. Josh hitting at .214, a couple of homers. He's driven in 13. Outfield around to the left is that breaking ball right off the end of the bat. Came off of it just enough. And that's out number 1. Boston leading the Mets. The game in the bottom of the second, 3-1.
Mets hit a 2-run homer off of Jonathan Papelbon to win that game yesterday. That's somewhat surprising.
That ball is slashed foul. It's grounded out to Eric Hinske at first base. And that's up high. Well, some of the streaks around baseball. Blue Jays on a 5-game losing streak, yet they're still in first place. Half game over Boston and New York. And the count 2-1. Kansas City on a 4-game losing streak.
Hopefully that continues.
And to count 3 balls in the strike. San Diego on an 8-game winning streak.
That's most amazing because they're difficult to beat at home, but you can kill them on the road.
That ball in the right field. Young is there, and that's out number 2. St. Louis on a 5-game winning streak, and the Cubs on a 6-game losing streak.
Tony La Russa said that he's been around a long time. He certainly has that. And he said he's never seen 5 games and gotten the dominant pitching that he's gotten during a 5-game stretch. He said he can't explain it, but you just look and admire it and hope that it continues for a bit. We hope it continues at least one more game.
Alexei takes first pitch strike. He popped up to second base. Top of the 5th in Cincinnati, 2-1 Reds over Cleveland. As Alexei out and around that one.
That's E for Jeff Cox. Might have been able to make that play, but that left hand just not working quite as well as it once was. We'll take a look at Jeff. See, he gives some ground, and then it's all over for him.
Big swing and a 1-2-3 inning for Jeff Karstens. It is still 2-1 White Sox. Mark Buehrle's got himself a 2-1 lead here in the top of the fourth inning. It'll be LaRoche, Moss, and Diaz. The face of our 30-year-old southpaw. Mark 128 up and 88 down in his career. That is plus 40.
And I know you like this guy, Hawk. You think that he'll hit as well as his defense has looked this series?
You know, well, you know who he reminds me a little, not so much in his stance and everything else, but once he starts his approach to the pitch, is Brett Boone. Very aggressive inside that swing. Now, Alexei, attaboy. 1 out.
That was a good solid throw, especially when you're throwing on the run. LaRoche doesn't run very well, so Alexei had some time, and all of the infielders have to know the speed of all of the guys that are hitting, because that's going to determine just how aggressive you have to be. You got that ball over there in plenty of time.
But he's the kind of guy at 25 years of age that you definitely, especially in the second division, so to speak, ball club, you definitely will take a shot with. If he gets with the right hitting coach, or if he gets with the right click, he got a chance. He got some talent.
Well, he had some pretty decent numbers at Jacksonville in 06. He hit 309. Then in Las Vegas, he hit 322 and 309.
Moss goes through it. 1-2 to count.
But for the Dodgers, when he had just 2 shots, and they were brief shots at that, but he didn't hit real well.
No, he's got a chance to be a player. He looks like he's very competitive, and that's number one for me. Looks like he will battle your behind off up there.
Well, he's always had some really good defensive numbers, and we've seen that in this series. Got good hands at third.
Full count to Moss, who went out to center field.
And for Mark Buehrle, it looks like this is not one of those easy days for him. It's not one of those days where he effortlessly throws a straight change where he wants to, gets the fastball where he wants to, gets the calls. This is a day where you really earn your money, because this is a day you've really got to work.
Get over there, Mark. He will. 2 down.
And on this Memorial Day weekend, the Duck hasn't taken any time off. He's back with the Aflac trivia question. What Pirates infielder led the NL in stolen bases in 1997 and 1998?
So here's Diaz, grounded out to short. Yeah, Robinson is the way he wants it pronounced. Robinson Diaz. Smokes that one into center field for a base hit. I said his numbers, just all the clubs he's been with. This guy can swing the bat.
Well, it's taken him a long time to get to the major leagues, but it looks like he fully intends to stay here. Mark gets this one up again, and when you're having the kind of day that Mark is having, you have to have a little luck and have to have some of the line drives go at people. He already has had that.
That's pretty apparent. He was signed when he was 17. Yes. Nice play right there. Over, and they force Diaz, and that'll retire the side. So we'll go to the bottom of the fourth with a 1-run lead.
Friday, June 12th through Sunday, June 14th, and Detroit's Comerica Park, Friday, July 24th through Sunday, July 26th. Reserve your spot today. Call 312-674-5398 or visit whitesox.com.
Jim Thome, Paul Konerko, and A.J. Pierzynski here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Two-run homer by Brian Anderson. Knocked in Carlos Quentin, who had doubled. Sox lead at 2-1. They get the partial sift going. Sanchez. And they just get him.
Well, they got him by an eyelash, and it looked like Jim might have actually beaten that one out. Certainly he was sniffing a base hit. Nice play by Sanchez. He had to go into a slide because he couldn't stop himself. And he got it there. I got to tell you, I think that's a base hit. From that angle, it wasn't. It's always nice to see, Big Frank.
The Big Hurt. First pitch strike to Paulie, who popped up to Jack Wilson at shortstop. Jeff Karstens. Pitch misses. And the count 1-1.
Well, Paul's waiting for the same type of curveball that Brian Anderson got in the second.
Brian got 3 of them in that bat.
He did. And the third one didn't fare very well for Karstens. Now that one broke a bit.
Yeah, that had a little more spin on it. A little more rotation.
It's a pretty good curveball. It's tough to throw a great curveball if you're a short armor, and Karstens is that.
He's got an unusual motion. When he takes it back, watch when he takes it back right there. Now, he's got a little extension, and all of a sudden, he chicken wings it coming through for the short arm.
You know what it looks like, Hawk? It looks like when you see a pitcher who's like that, there's a couple of things that come into play. One, at one point, he was either a position player, or two, he hurt his arm. And when you hurt your shoulder especially, you have a tendency to keep your elbow in because you're trying to protect it, and all of a sudden you get a different motion than you'd normally have.
Here's AJ. Yeah, he's got a... Once he gets to the back, he definitely at that point becomes a short arm. You don't see that very often. AJ looped out to center field. Had him way out in front on that one, and the count 1-1. Gap out there in right center. And once again, a very happy Memorial Day to each and all. Make it a safe one. That curveball is top foul.
I would pretty much guarantee that he did hurt his arm, because I'm looking back at 2005 where he had 147 strikeouts and 169 innings. That's a sign of a guy at 8 strikeouts for 9 innings who probably throws the ball real hard. And these days, that big fastball has gone away.
That's off the fist, and that was in 06.
That was in 05 at Trenton. Year before, 116 strikeouts and 138 2/3 innings at Tampa. And then all of a sudden, the strikeouts just started to go straight downhill. Last year, 23 strikeouts and 51 in the third at Pittsburgh.
Well, there's another strikeout. That's his second of this game. And he has retired the last 7 he has seen. We'll go to the 5th, leading 2-1. It's a 2-1 Sox lead here in the top of the fifth inning. And the top of the order, Nyjer Morgan, Delwin Young, and Freddie Sanchez to face Mark Buehrle. The 0-1 pitch. Josh in on the grass at third, outfield, slightly to the left. A ball and 2 strikes. Way high, 2-2. 2 runs, 2 hits. No errors for us. 1 run, 8 hits. No errors for them. That's a tough play right there. As Alexei quickly gets to it.
And a tremendous play by Ramirez, because that was a one-hopper that ate up Josh Fields. Not too many guys are going to make this play. But take a look at Ramirez. He realizes that with the speed of Morgan, he's got to go out there and get the ball. He couldn't trust that Quinton would get there. And the slide and the throw right on the mark. Good heads-up play by Ramirez.
So here's Delwin Young. Good speed aboard. He is 10 for 15 in stolen bases.
Paul is playing off the bag a bit, anticipating perhaps Young going down that way. Nyjer Morgan's a guy that you can pick off with your best move.
That's up high, 1-0. Well, you've got a better, as a first baseman, you've got a better chance playing a step or 2 off the bag and then getting back to the bag if he decides to come over there. But the reason being is the fact that if you're standing on the bag and all of a sudden he comes over there and you just drop your right knee down and block the bag, the umpire's not going to give it to you. If you're coming back and he sees you're having a little trouble, then he might give it to you. That's the only way you're going to get it.
Morgan is very much taking a safety first lead, because on the first move that Mark Buehrle makes, he's going back to the bag. He has not read his move yet.
Going back again. And the count evens at 1.
Well, I think he's trying to force Mark into showing him his best move, which he hasn't showed him yet. Because he took a full step back toward the bag as Mark was delivering the ball to Young.
Meanwhile, you've got to get the hitter. Good lead. Good lead by Morgan, especially off Buehrle.
But it makes very little sense to take a big lead and then be coming back to the bag as Mark is making the pitch. You might as well take a short lead and then have your momentum going forward.
Well, by him taking that big, that's a one-way lead.
Yeah.
By him taking that big lead right there, it's going to give A.J., in fact, he takes off, a better shot at him, rather than getting a shorter lead and just having this momentum go towards second. Got to get the hitter, though. 3-1 to count.
This is where, if Mark's been saving that good pickoff move, this is a good time to use it.
Outfield about equidistant, for the most part, straight up and spread out. Oh, boy, look at the pick right there by Alexei Wilson. 2 down.
And that's why I said, on days like Mark is having today, you just have to hope that the line drives are hit right at people. And what an effort by Alexei Ramirez. This is a one-hop rocket. Young hit this ball and probably figured it was going into left center field. But that becomes a rather easy double play after that. Good hands by Ramirez. And a double play turn.
And here's Sanchez. He is 2 for 2, and he also has scored the only Pirate run. As that ball into right center field. That's a can of corn for Brian. Nice play by Alexi Ramirez. And we're halfway home, leading 2-1. All right, David Kaplan, thank you very much. Be sure and tell Mindy hello for us.
She's got to be mighty pleased by this Sox homestand.
So far, as here's the 1-0 pitch. Carlos 1 for 1 with a run scored. He doubled with 2 out in the second.
That pitch looked like one of the few straight changes that Karstens has thrown today.
Jacks it up. He did not go. We mentioned first of that 3-game set and that 6-game road trip starting tomorrow. 3 in Anaheim. There's a curveball, gets it over, and the count 2-2. Johnny Danks against Irvin Santana, and that game will be right here over Comcast Sportsnet. The Wednesday game also over Comcast Sportsnet. Tuesday's games will be over WCIU Channel 26. Bottom of the 6th in the Bronx. Phillies leading the Yanks 3-2. That ball hit deep. Not deep enough. Dadgummit. Right in front of the fence. I thought he had a chance to have gotten that one. He's getting there.
He hit that ball pretty hard. This is another hanging curveball, and Karstens is fortunate this one stays in the park. Carlos probably got it just toward the end of the bat. Nyjer Morgan back there with a couple of steps to spare.
And here is Bryant. There's the bunt, barehanded by LaRoche. That'll be a base hit. So he hits a 2-run homer and comes back.
Well, I like the fact that he hustled back to first base, because when that ball got away, it can be interpreted that you're making a break towards second, and you don't want to leave it in the hands, in this case, Paul Emmel. Good bunt. After hitting a home run, you can bet that Andy LaRoche isn't looking for that one. Then he airmails Hinske at first. The ball barely stayed in play, but Brian is 2 for 2.
So here's Getz. Grounded out to his counterpart, Freddie Sanchez. Pretty good lead by Bryant. As he just pulled his head just enough. Bottom of the 6th inning down in Fort Lauderdale. Rays tied with the Marlins at 3. Mets leading Boston 4-3. Bottom of the 3rd at Fenway.
What you have to hope is that Karstens is going to throw either an inside fastball or a breaking ball to Getz, because they're giving him all kinds of room in right center field. And Delwin Young is well off the line in right. We'll show you the defense. And you can see the gap.
There he goes. That takes Hinske right to the bag, and that's out number 2. So with 2 out, Ryan at second. That'll bring up Josh Fields. Hit a little nubber off the end of the bat on a breaking pitch.
Here's our Aflac trivia question.
Aflac!
As the duck waddles by. What Pirate infielder led the National League in stolen bases in 97 and 98? And the answer, Tony Womack. 60 and 58 in 97 and 98.
A blast from the past.
Pretty good infielder and had a nice career.
Pick him up right here. Gosh. That breaking ball outside. Bottom of the 7th in Detroit. Rockies leading the Tigers 3-1. Cincinnati leading Cleveland 3-1. That game in the 6th inning.
Go Rockies.
Big run out there, Josh. Oh, man, he got a roller. And couldn't do anything with it.
Boy, Fan made a great catch behind the dugout. There's that hanging curveball again. Karstens getting away with a lot of mistakes today. Unfortunately, this one did drift out of play.
One pitch.
And Joe Kerrigan's going to take a look at the tapes of this game and watch just how many rolling curveballs Karstens has thrown today.
Another one. It's just like that Scott Baker from Minnesota the other day.
Well, he didn't get away with quite as many.
No.
And eventually it's going to get to you. And Diaz has gone out now to talk with Karstens. He's probably telling him, you're going to have to follow through. You're going to have to change your speed. You're going to have to do something, because you're rolling too many of them, especially on the inner portion. And he had to look at Joe Kerrigan, who's taken over this pitching staff. And coming into this series, they were 4th in the National League in pitching, and they haven't pitched poorly in this series, just that they haven't hit.
And there's a base hit. That's going to get the run in. So Brian will score. He has driven in 2, scored 2, and it's 3-1 good guys.
What I like about that scenario was it was a hit and run that put Anderson at second base. It would have been a double play had he not been running. And then Josh Fields gets a fastball down and drives it into left field. So that's his 14th run driven in, and a 2-run lead now.
Here's Pides. He's grounded to first, then lined out to right. And popped up to center. But a nice 2-out RBI single by Josh, and we'll go to the 6th, leading 3-1. On top 3-1, Craig Monroe lead it off, but what a nice run last inning.
It was a terrific run because it was set up real well. It was set up with aggressive base running, and then Josh Fields made the most of it. And Mark Burley today has got to throw those line drives at people, and so far he's doing a good job of that.
Some plays are like that.
He scattered 9 hits, as they say.
Oh, 0-2 the count to Monroe, who is 2 for 2. One soft single and one hard single. That's a soft ground ball.
Feature group of 50 to 100 fans to a pregame patio party buffet, and then enjoy the game from the warning track area. Call 312-674-1000 to book your warning track party today, or visit whitesox.com for more details.
Eric Hensky. Eric is 1 for 2. RBI double, also lined into a double play.
Mark's only thrown 75 pitches because there's been a guy cut down on a base hit and 2 double plays turned behind it.
Outfield spread out slightly to the left. Took a lot off that curveball, big sweeper, and the count 0-2.
Well, he changed the arm angle on that one, and he threw the very slow curveball. He got Hensky pulling off it, and he missed that one by a great margin. Hensky, a former Rookie of the Year with the Toronto Blue Jays, came up through the organization of the Chicago Cubs.
Get over there. He will, and that's out number 2.
That's one thing, Hawk, and you've seen him obviously a lot longer than I have, but that's one thing I've never seen Mark Burley do, and that is forget about moving to the bag on anything hit to the left side of the right side of the infield, rather.
He has never become a spectator.
And a good fielding pitcher to boot.
Andy LaRoche 0 for 2, a strikeout and a ground out to Ramirez. Right off the end of the bat. I turned that one over. There's a base hit. These right-handers like Sanchez, Monroe, they're trying, and now LaRoche, they're trying to hit him into right field, which is the right approach.
Especially with a guy with a good straight change. If you're thinking about right field and reacting to the ball inside, you're going to be in much better shape.
Well, the greatest saying I've ever heard about a left-hander with a good change for the right-handed hitter is as soon as you see us a change-up, try to knock him off the mound with it. Here is Brandon Moss, who's 0 for 2. And if you can think that, which you can teach yourself, every time that you see a change-up, you try to knock him. That don't mean you're going to do it, but it means you're going to keep your shoulder in there. Now feel about equidistant. And the count 2-0. Diaz on deck.
There you look at the defense. It's pretty much straight up, except for Ramirez playing up the middle. Beasley going through his set of signs.
That leaving the count at 2. But as we talked about earlier, Pirates will stay right here in the beautiful city to take on the Cubs. You understand, a lot of them go out there. Families with them. So a wonderful week. I don't know about baseball, but a wonderful week for the families here in the beautiful city.
And I would think they're probably asking to reload on that meal money right about now.
And I'll tell you what, they better bring some plastic with them.
Especially if their wives get anywhere close to Oak Street.
Kansas City leading St. Louis 2-0. Top of the 5th inning. Shot base hit by Moss. Brian got a gun shot. Now they're going to get him at first. What a play by Alexi. He saw what was happening. So that will go 9-6-3, and that'll retire the side. Another nice inning for Burley defensively.
Hello. End of the inning. And he gets a face burger for his efforts. Comes back, the tag, and whack him in the helmet while you're at it.
And Alexei fouls that pitch back. Well, The throw was going to get him at third if it took a true hop to Josh. So you had either or, but he saw he had him at first.
By plenty.
By a lot. There's that breaking ball. He just flips it up there, and the count 0-2. Alexei has popped to second and struck out.
We can tell you that Mark has scattered 11 hits in 6 innings, given up just 1 run.
The Red Sox used to have a pitcher like that named Bob Stanley. He was famous for scattering 12 or 13 hits through his 6 or 7 innings.
White Sox had a guy same way, Stan Bonson.
Stan at one time was a hard thrower.
Yeah, but by the time he got here, as we like to tell him, you were obviously born in the stretch position.
I tell you,
the only time he wound up was in the first inning.
Bonson first came up, he could rush it up there.
And no doubt.
Watch out.
Hopefully everybody's okay, because that one went rifling back over the dugout.
So the count hangs at 1-2. 3-4-0 for us, 1-11-0 for them. Pirates with their run in the first. We had 2 in the second, 2-run homer by Brian Anderson, and then a 2-out RBI single by Josh Fields, knocking in Brian Anderson last inning. And the 2-2 delivery. It's full.
Jim Thome waiting on deck. Robbed of a base hit last time.
There's a base hit right off the end of the bat. So the lead man aboard.
It's another curveball, only this one does break a bit, but Alexei goes down and gets it. He can hit curveballs in the strike zone. Where he gets in trouble is when he expands that zone. Then he has problems like just about every hitter. But he's starting to swing the bat real well.
And here's Big Jim 0 for 2.
They can't really shift on him too much when you've got a base stealer at first base. You have Jack Wilson, who's playing on the third base side of second, and that's kind of unusual. He's playing him very much up the middle.
That's upstairs. Want to know to Thome. Boy, the outfield there deep. Big Jim sitting on 548. Tied with Mike Schmidt for 13th.
Pretty good stolen base percentage for Alexei, and this is a good base running situation.
Gave that one away. Meanwhile, the count 2-0.
Now Joe Kerrigan going out before Jim Thome loses this one. He wants to talk to Jeff Karstens about it.
We can see it from up here. He could probably see it from the dugout. All right, big man. Keyhole it. Nice and easy. Stay back and let him come to you. Pretty good lead. Watch out. That could have been bad right there.
Well, we were told when the season started that after the study they did on the bats that they wouldn't shatter quite as much, and if they did, they wouldn't pinwheel out into the field of play or into the stands. But that hasn't really held true. On the play, Ramirez moves in a scoring position.
Well, he had a good lead and a good jump. That's what good base running is. You get a good lead and a good jump in situations like that, because if he doesn't, they're going to turn a pair. And here's Konerko with a chance to pick him up.
Good stop by Diaz on that breaking ball in the dirt.
Say, I like what I see from this Robinson Diaz, both ways.
Well, they've put two pretty good catchers behind there.
Yeah.
I mean, Jaramillo had a couple of great days behind the plate.
And he's only 26, Jaramillo. So that's two good-looking young catchers they've got. Sanchez hanging out around second.
And the question is going to be, when is Ryan Domit going to come back? Because he's one of the power guys on this team, and he's the guy that was supposed to be the everyday catcher. The advantage is he's a switch hitter, but he broke his wrist, and at first talk they said 6 weeks. Now, you know, when a hitter, especially a guy who has some power, breaks his wrist, number one, it's overly optimistic that 6 weeks would be the case. But two, the question is, when he comes back, will he come back with that same kind of power?
Well, we saw a good example of that in Carlos Quentin. And I guess the bone that he fractured or he broke in his wrist, I guess those are two entirely different injuries, the hand or the wrist.
Right, sure.
With the hand, if you lose, good lead right there by Alexi. If you lose the use of your hand for a period of time in a cast and it atrophies, it's going to take you a year to get your strength back. You can squeeze all the squeezers you want. You can lift all the weights you want, and it's going to, because I've done it 3 times, and it's going to take you a year to get your full strength back. Wrist is another story. But it just 6 weeks just doesn't sound like enough time.
No, it hasn't worked out that way. I think he's still far away from coming back, and now they're talking about perhaps the All-Star break. So that's really a big loss for Pittsburgh, who came into this series playing real solid baseball. Their problem is they don't have a lot of thunder in their lineup. They do have pretty decent pitching, as we've seen in this series.
Got a 4.10 team ERA.
Yeah.
Just flips that. And there's Diaz from the knees, gunning it down to second. Probably with a 3-0 count.
Reminds you a little about Benito Santiago, but before him, Tony Pena used to do that a lot.
Well, a guy who was the first guy I saw do that.
Gabby Hartnett.
No, it was before Johnny Bench.
So Johnny Bench had, what a miraculous arm he had.
He had the greatest arm I've ever seen behind the plate. People today, they say, Hawk, you know, we were watching the other night and you were talking about Johnny Bench having a better arm than Ivan Rodriguez. Well, he did. Johnny Bench had one of those you had to see it to believe it arms. And here comes John Russell.
And that's going to be it for Karstens, as John Russell's going to go to the bullpen.
So Karstens goes 5 1/3. Both runners his responsibility. Partial line, 3 runs earned. 5 hits. 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, and we'll be
MLB.com at Bat 2009, featuring play-by-play, video highlights, and live audio broadcast. Visit WhiteSox.com on your iPhone or iPod Touch to purchase. Sean Burnett comes into the game. He inherits base runners at first and second. Sox up by 2. And there you look at the numbers on for the 21st time. So he's been a busy man, a fine ERA of 3.15. Only 13 hits in 20 innings. But the walk to strikeout ratio isn't the best. He's brought in because left-handers have done very little with him.
And here's A.J. A.J. 0 for 2. Gap, big gap out there in right center. Ramirez at second, Konerko at first.
Well, the one thing that hopefully the Sox will be is patient with Burnett, because although the ERA is pretty good and although left-handers haven't done much, the 11 walks in 20 innings is not real good for a guy coming in situations like this.
Well, they've got the right-hander up down there in the pen. Whoa, what a... He just froze that thing out there, doesn't he?
That's an unusual motion.
Oh.
Get mesmerized by that. Take another look at it, and look at this motion. Good solid breaking ball, and A.J. fouls it off his counterpart.
There's a little flipper. Wilson's going to make the play. Infield fly rule is called, so 2 down.
And I don't think he's going to be allowed to face Quentin, but we'll see what's on the mind of John Russell. And that's exactly what was on his mind.
So Burnett does his job, gets out Pierzynski. He departs, and we'll be back.
Feature group of 20 or more guests to an unlimited buffet and drink package receive discounted tickets for the game, and to do that you can book a patio party today. Call 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com. And Jesse Chavez comes into this one. Been scored upon only one of his last 9 outings, so he comes out of the bullpen. For the 21st time, his ERA an even 2. Again, very impressive numbers.
25-year-old right-hander out of Victorville, California. First pitch to Carlos, fouled away right side. Carlos 1 for 2, a double, a run scored. He also has gone out deep to deep left center. High pop up right side. Hinske stays with it, makes the catch, and it'll retire to the side. We have completed 6, and the Sox lead it 3-1.
Grass with White Sox players, coaches, and staff. The evening includes a silent auction and is concluded with a signature fireworks display. Call 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com for more details.
Here's Diaz to lead it off. Takes ball 1. Robinson is 1 for 2. Grounded to short and then a bullet single into center. 2-0 the count. Cleveland has come back to tie Cincinnati at 3. That game in the bottom of the 8th at Great American Ballpark. There's a strike.
Bullpen up and going, and I think at this point, with Mark Buehrle at the 90 pitch mark and the fact that he has given up 11 hits, they're going to watch him, and now 12 hits. So I don't believe they're going to be overly patient with Mark. Don Cooper looking over at his pitch counter, which probably looks the same as the one up on the board at 91.
So here's Wilson. He's 1 for 2. And he takes ball 1. That evens the count.
Last night, after Clayton Richards' brilliant performance, it was Dotel, Thornton, and Linebrink that covered the last 3 innings.
That's popped up left side. Alexei making the call. Has the ball. 1 down.
Alexei's had just a remarkable day defensively. The least of which was a play that you're not going to see in the scorebook, but a deflection off the glove of Josh Fields. Alexei went out. He got the ball, made sure that the runner couldn't go to second, and Sox then turned to pair because of his hustle.
There's a strike to Morgan. Nigel Morgan, he's 2 for 3 today. Not a good swing right there. So the count very quickly, 0-2.
Littell and Thornton throwing in the pen.
Just off the corner. Trying to get him to bite. He would have none of it. And that curveball in the dirt. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Delwyn Young on deck. 3-5-0 for our Sox. 1-12-0 for their Pirates. Just foul. Paul Lemmel giving that one a big eyeball right there.
He's right on the line, and this has happened once already today with Paul holding a runner close and coming off the bag. You don't expect Morgan to turn on the ball and take it up the right field line. But turn on it he did. It happened once already with Eric Hinske, that coming in the first inning. And the break that the Sox got was the ball got stuck in the pads. So instead of 2 runs scoring, only 1 run did, and that's a lone run that's up on the board.
Flips that one into left field. Carlos is there, makes the catch, and that is out number 2.
Delwyn Young is the guy that hit that 1-hop rocket right at Ramirez at shortstop, but took tremendous hands to be able to corral that ball. After making the play, the double play was easy. And that's the ball that was set up by Ramirez's hustle on the deflection off the field.
Young takes ball 1. Well, the only way he could have made that play was the way he did it. Had his behind real low to the ground. Yep. Brings your eyesight down. Your eyes are closer to that same level. That was another Matabatacola.
That one went out past Ramirez at shortstop. Mark gets that cutter inside, and the head of the bat goes flying. Young left with just the handle and a foul ball to show for it. And now AJ's going out, and he wants to have a word with Mark Buehrle.
I think that what Russell's talking with Beckman about is the time that Young was taking with the bat. Under the new rules, you're not supposed to do that.
Well, you're supposed to get a new bat, and then you can't doctor it up with all kinds of pine tar, whatever the case may be. I think they hand it to you, and they'd like you to get back in there in an effort to try to speed up the game.
Oh, that's what the new rules are.
Yep.
And he was taking his time. One and one the count with 2 down here in the top of the 7th inning. Final game of this 3-game set. Final game of the 6-game homestand. Sox took 2 out of 3 from Minnesota and have taken the first 2 of this series. Pretty good pitch, didn't get it. Where was that pitch?
AJ wants it in.
That's a strike.
Came over the plate, a strike.
That's a strike. And that's foul back. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out.
That one just missed the LG Skyline Club.
A lot of fannies and a lot of seats in that LG Skyline Club. And the 2-2.
Mark Buehrle at the 105 pitch mark, so one way or the other, this is probably going to be the last guy he's going to face.
Now time is called. Pirates, if you're just tuning in, took the lead with a run in the first. 2-run homer by Brian Anderson in the second. He gone. Big strikeout. 7th inning stretch. Buehrle leads it 3-1.
Considered what he battled today.
First pitch to Brian Anderson. It hit high. He just missed it into center field. He just missed it. Brian now 2 for 3, a 2-run homer, a bunt single, and he has scored twice.
Host a private party at U.S. Cellular Field in the Terrace Suites. Take advantage of an enclosed setting with outdoor balconies and a private seating area for your group. The buffet is also available. Visit a terrace suite today. Call 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com.
0-1 the count to Chris Getz, who is 0 for 2. He's bounced to second, and he's grounded to first. But that grounder to first is on a hit and run. It's set up, and there's a base hit. Chris, good turn around second. Now he's going to go on in. They're going to get it.
You're not going to find a lot of 8-4-6 putouts at second base, but this was one of them. Morgan gets to the ball very quickly, but then he overthrows the cutoff man. And Chris Getz thinking that, well, maybe there's nobody at second. But Jack Wilson is standing there. So Chris tries to stretch it and gets cut down.
And there's ball one to Josh Fields. Josh had a big 2-out RBI single, knocking in Brian back in the 5th inning. Good rip underneath it. Bottom of the 5th at Fenway. Mets have taken a 5-4 lead over the Carmines. St. Louis has come back to tie Kansas City at 2. Game in St. Louis in the top of the 7th. And the count 1-2.
And in your picture before, you saw Herm Schneider talking it over with Mark Burley. Very happy Mark Burley. Didn't have his best stuff today. This was a battle for him. And yet, you look up there, there's only 1 run on the board despite 12 hits.
I tell you, he's a pup out of Catfish on him. It's amazing.
What a battler.
As that was a quick inning. And we'll go to the 8th. It is 3-1 good guys. All right, David Kaplan, thank you very much.
Well, we'll vote 20 plus because things would work out pretty well as Octavio Dotel comes into this one. On for the 18th time.
First pitch to Freddie Sanchez. Little high neck in. He's 2 for 3. Freddie, a couple of singles and a run scored.
Dotel last night threw 2/3 of an inning. Gave up a walk, but no runs or hits.
And the count evens at 1.
And Matt Thornton continues to throw because one of the guys they have on the bench is Adam LaRoche.
And there's the strike. So Dotel in command at 1-2.
DJ Carrasco has joined Matt Thornton.
That's going to be a souvenir.
Colorado beat Detroit again, and that's always good news. That's 2 in a row for a last place team cooling off a red hot first place team, and Detroit played them at home.
And there's another souvenir. So the count hangs at 1-2 to the 31-year-old Freddie Sanchez. Nice gap out there in left center for him. Josh Fields way back and well off the line at third. Slowly hit. Alexei. 1 out. Big out. One down to the cleanup hitter, the designated hitter, Greg Monroe, who is 2 for 3 today. Kansas City leading St. Louis 3-2, top of the 7th. As a big hack, no contact. Boston has come back to take a 6-5 lead over the Mets. That game in the top of the 8th at Fenway. And that breaking ball high. Good strike on the outside corner.
Well, this shouldn't be a real good matchup for Monroe, because Dotel has a hard slider and a good fastball, and normally Monroe's bat isn't all that quick.
He gone. Curveball.
Sets him up with a fastball, throws the hook. Bye-bye, Craig.
So here's Hensky. He's 1 for 3. That RBI double back in the first inning.
Tavio's getting it up there 93 miles an hour. Coming back from an outing last night. That's pretty good.
Two and 0 the count. Don't need any walks right here. Andy LaRoche on deck.
John Graybo throwing in the bullpen.
That's way back. It's a 3-2 ball game.
First home run of the year for Eric Hensky. He's actually hit the ball very well today. So Ford home run replay. First home run of the year, second RBI of the day, and he gets a fastball up and out over the plate and drills it.
So here is LaRoche. He's 1 for 3. Takes that 93-mile-an-hour fastball for a strike. Breaking ball. He did not go. So a 3-2 ball game. 3-6-0 for us, 2-13-0 for them.
One of the guys to worry about is Nate McLeod, who's the leader offensively on this team, and he didn't start today. That means that most likely we will be seeing him in the 9th inning, I would assume, or if they continue things going here in the 8th.
Brandon Moss, left-handed hitter on deck. And LaRoche protecting the plate. Outfield now, they're deep. And a no double set and spread out. He gone. But the home run by Henske makes the Cheese a little more binding. We go to the bottom of the 8th leading.
Came off the bat of Brian Anderson. Hanging curveball goes out of the ballpark. The first home run of the year for Brian. A 2-run shot. Put the Sox on top. And that's our Dodge drive of the game. And John Graybo comes into this. Graybo 2-0, a high ERA of 5.21, on for the 21st time. So the bullpen's been busy. Let's see if they can score a run off Graybo.
That could be trouble. Yeah. Base hit. Lead man aboard.
And that's the 3rd time that we've seen Scott Posednik run up on the ball, and the 3rd time he's gotten a base hit. So if that works, run, Forrest, run. Watch it again. And he doesn't get a whole lot of it, but he gets it just far enough to beat the play at first. Good effort by Diaz. He just can't get it there in time. So a promising way to start the 8th.
And here's Alexei. He's 1 for 3. Bunt, and it's going foul. So good speed aboard. Good speed at the plate. Jim Thome on deck.
Graybo's had some control issues, 10 walks in just 19 innings of work. He's also given up 26 hits in those 19 innings.
Now time is called. Come on, Alexei, we need you, buddy. He broke it down now. Diaz out to talk to Graybo. 28,309. As you look at Bobby Jenks schedule hitters for the Pirates in their half of the ninth, or the lower third of their order: Moss, Diaz, and Wilson.
We're going to see McLouth and probably LaRoche before it's over.
Watch out.
Well, a good idea, but that ball almost went into right field. Nice play by Hinske, who's had a good day all around, both with the glove and the bat. And that time Diaz, on a set play, calls a pitch out and steers it into the grass.
That'll get the job done. Nice bunt by Alexei. Went way up on the bat.
Last night the Sox were called upon to execute, and it was Josh Fields who laid down a pretty good bunt. And today Alexei Ramirez does the same thing. So the team is starting to execute pretty well. And this is a perfect bunt because it leaves Graybo with only one play. He almost throws it away, but in the meantime, a big run is out at second base with Wilson sneaking in behind Posednik.
Thome 0 for 3 today. He's popped up to left, and twice he has gone out to second.
Why do you like Jim Thome against a left-hander better than a right-hander?
A right-hander with a good slider or a good curveball down and in. Yeah, he's more dangerous against the left-hander.
Because he keeps the front side in longer?
Well, he can keep the ball fair better against the left-hander than he can against the right-hander.
Yeah, well, that's true. We've seen some long home runs hit foul.
Yeah, it doesn't make any difference how hard you hit it if it's foul. So Jim was very dangerous against Santana when he was with Minnesota. Checks it up.
Hitter's very frustrated by leaving the bat close enough for the ball to hit it on a ball that's clearly inside.
That really will get you going.
Pitchers love it, hitters hate it, and now Diaz coming out, and he wants a word with Graybo.
Two count. Couldn't pull the trigger on it. Got a pretty good pitch to hit right there. And that's out number 2.
Diaz went out, wants it away, gets a slider. And actually, it got a whole lot of the plate.
They're going to put Konerko on. Yeah, that was a pretty good pitch to hit right there. Put Paulie on to get to AJ. And while they're doing this, why don't we check our Felco upcoming schedule? There you see tomorrow, Tuesday and Wednesday against the Halos from the Big A in Anaheim. Thursday an off day in Kansas City. We won't get there until about 5 o'clock in the morning, though, after that Wednesday night game. Then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday against the Royals from Kauffman Stadium. Then we return home here for our first lengthy homestand. Thank goodness.
That's going to be a long homestand, and it's going to be a critical homestand because there's 5, count them, 5 with the Tigers, including a split doubleheader.
We'll have 4 with Oakland, 3 with Cleveland, and 5 with the Tigers. So make your plans to be with us. That homestand starts June 1st, Monday, June 1st, and goes through June 11th.
Gorzelani, the left-hander. Matt Capps, the right-hander.
Come on, AJ. Right man, right spot, right place. Turns it loose. Oh, some high heat from Graybo. raced into left field, but Moss is there, hauls it in. A.J. hit it right on the money. Dadgummit. We'll go to the ninth, leading by 1. Mark Buehrle trying to pick up his 7th victory of the season. Bobby trying to go 11 for 11 in saves. He's got his work cut out for him. He's going to have some left-handed hitters coming up there at him.
And Bobby Jenks saved the gem by Gavin Floyd. He pitched an inning. It was spotless. Hopefully more the same today. And there will be a cornucopia of left-hand hitters up there. There are the numbers on Jenks. On for the 16th time. His ERA shrinking actually at 2.40. 14 strikeouts, 5 walks. Right-handers might as well go home. And he's going to face some left-handers. And we'll see if they bring McLouth off the bench.
Here's Brandon Moss. He is 1 for 3. Diaz on deck, and I saw Jack Wilson. He's got his helmet on down in that dugout. And the 1-strike pitch. Just off the outside corner. Sox trying to nail it down and have a 5-1 homestand. Softly hit. Bobby slips. Nice pick by Paulie on a bad throw by Bobby.
Well, we've talked about Paul doing that at first base, and he does it as well as anybody around. Bobby Jenks slipped off the mound. I think he's pretty unhappy with himself because he takes pride in his fielding. And normally it's a pretty easy play, but he slips and then throws it into the ground. And Paul scoops it out.
So we will not see LaRoche or McLouth right now, as here is Diaz. He's 2 for 3.
It's a little surprising to me, but John Russell knows his personnel
better than we do. Now time is called by Robinson. Outfield and a no double set. Spread out. And there's a strike in the count 0-2. Now drop that hook on him.
Yep. And in the process of dropping, he'll be wondering why one of those left-handers wasn't coming off the bench. This is going to be a fastball away.
ball. Tucked up by Chris. And that is out number 2.
Well, Bobby wanted to throw that ball away, and A.J. set up away, but that ball was on the inner portion. And we're not going to see the left-handers. We're going to see Jack Wilson.
Well, for whatever reason, I am certainly happy about it.
As am I.
Jack is 1 for 3. Want to know the count to the 31-year-old shortstop. He singled in the second, hit into a 5-4 fielder's choice in the fourth, and he popped a short in the seventh. Well, John Russell knows what he's doing as this game is tied at 3.
Well, that was a no-doubter for Jack Wilson, and the surprising part is it's his first home run of the year.
Wow.
And unfortunately, Mark Buehrle cannot win this. Karstens can't lose it. Jack Wilson, who doesn't homer very often, hits one out. It's our Ford home run replay, and Bobby threw this ball on the inner portion. It's a fastball, and Wilson got every ounce of it.
Nyjer Morgan. We've got Quentin Anderson and Getz, the schedule hitters, in the bottom of the 9th inning. And that's trouble. Well, this guy can pick him up and lay him down.
Morgan with 3 hits today, and Bobby throwing all fastballs and not hitting his spots with it. Is that ball rifled into right? Anderson does a nice job of getting it back in and making sure he doesn't get to third.
So here's a switch hitting right fielder, Delwyn Young. He is 0 for 4. And has swung the bat better from the left side. And there's a base hit. Pirates are going to take a 4-3 lead. With 2 out, nobody on here in the top of the 9th inning. They have come up with 2 runs.
And Morgan took a very awkward turn around third base. In fact, it looked like for a moment he was going to miss it. Young inside outs this ball down the line. Goes right by Fields. 8th run batted in this year, and just like that, the Pirates have taken the lead.
Here's Sanchez. Freddie Sanchez is 2 for 4 with a run scored. So 4-16-0 for the Pirates, 3-7-0 for our Sox. Man. Out and around that.
Jack Wilson last year in 305 at bats had 1 home run. And the one he hit here today tied it up.
Two balls and a strike. And it's 3-1 with Craig Monroe on deck. Full count. 1 out away. And now we are 1 run down. Payoff pitch. That's lined right at Carlos Quentin, who was there and makes the catch, but some damage is done. Pirates come up with 2. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th, trailing by 1.
In center field. And Nyjer Morgan in left field. As Matt Capps comes into this one, looking for his 9th save, but he struggled. 0-3, ERA 7.07, on for the 16th time. 21 hits in 14 innings, while walking 8, striking out only 9. It's time to get at least 1.
If they can do it, we can do it. Carlos Quentin 1 for 3, a double and a run scored. As that pitch is high, ball 1. There's a strike. 4-3 bad guys here in the bottom of the 9th inning. That was by him at 93. Capps, big man, 6'2", 245 pounds. Bradenton, Florida.
Last couple of years, he had 18 and 21 saves, respectively.
One out.
To that fastball by him. Gallows couldn't check his swing after realizing it was up and out of the zone. Joe Kerrigan, the pitching coach, completely reworked the motion of Matt Capps and thinks he's got him straightened out.
Breaking ball strike to Brian Anderson. Brian, a 2-run homer, a bunt single, scored twice, and he just missed another one. Another breaking ball and the count 0-2. Come on, Brian, get 2-strike hitter, buddy. We need a base runner. Just got a piece of that 94 fastball.
Chris gets in the on-deck circle.
Little high neck in. One out. 1-2 the count. Ryan with a good swing at that one just underneath it. Foul back into the LG Skyline Club seats. Stay with him. Stay with him, 32. Breaking ball. 2 down. So it's up to Chris Getz.
And Diaz probably going out and telling Caps to watch the bunt. LaRoche is in very close at third base, but they're well back on the right side. See the defense, and we'll show you Hinski's on the line.
First pitch strike. Chris is 1 for 3 this afternoon. And the count, we're down to our last bullet, 0-2. That's going to be a souvenir left side. Two out, nobody on. We had a 3-2 lead if you're just tuning in, and then a home run by Wilson, a double by Morgan, and a single by Young, and they lead it 4-3. They come back as Cap strikes out the side. A tough loss right here for our Sox. Had a chance to make it a 5-1 homestand. Steve Stone, and couldn't get it done.
No, what a golden opportunity, but Bobby Jenks is not.